Hey, everybody. This is a huge movie podcast, the only movie podcast more confusing than an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. My name is Chris Carfaro. Alongside me, we have Connor Garrigan.
How you doing?
Jack Mayberry behind the camera on the ones and twos.
Yeet.
And John Gallagher is gone. I heard he's reading for a role.
Yeah, he's going to audition.
Whiplash 2. It's good for him.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. J.K. Simmons is not going to be in it, though.
Wait, is he actually?
Yeah.
He's actually?
He's auditioning for a trumpeter.
No way. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like real playing trumpet or just a movie? Or you're lying?
No.
Connor's lying.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
John can't act.
I feel like John kind of could be an actor.
Yeah, he acts like
John
he
can be
cares
an
about this
actor.
podcast.
I feel like anyone can act. I feel like it's not that hard. I'll say it.
All right. Well, you just lost half of our viewership. That's all
Really
right.
pissed off our actors. That's our demographic. So.
We were this close to getting in good with the guild. Unbelievable. All right. So we're here, taking a step away from the bracket once again to give you guys a little bit of a menagerie of topics.
Be on the fucking edge of your seat, though, because next week's going to be a good one.
Oh, next week is going to be insane. You know it's insane when John texts the group how excited he is for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's actually not here today because he's planning his dissertation for the first half of the podcast.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. He went to law school. I didn't know that either. But anyway,
And medical school.
I thought I went to medical school.
For our viewers that actually care about John, he's actually rewriting the Bible into modern times.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a scribe.
Yeah.
The Book of John. Isn't that already a book? I think it's been taken.
Yeah.
The book of John 2.
John Strikes Back.
This John means business.
Bigger and better. All right. But to get us, I feel like we have been started, but to get us started, Connor's going to hit us with a little bit of synopsis surprise. Connor, take it away.
On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 26% based on 113 reviews,
Stinky.
with an average rating of 4.1 out of 10. The website's critical consensus reads, Blank tries to blend fantasy, hard-hitting cop drama, and social commentary, and ends up failing painfully short of the mark on all three fronts.
The Other Guys.
No.
No, that movie
no, that's
was
a
a
good movie.
success. I
I
just
don't
watched
know.
that recently, actually.
So did I.
Yeah, I showed it to Katie. She didn't like it.
Yeah, Brittany didn't like it either. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 29 out of 100, based on 26 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews.
Wait, 29 out of 100 with 26 people voting?
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's
Score, yeah. Score of 29 out of, because Metacritic is the scores. All right. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun gave the film 1.5 out of 4 stars. Blank is basically a tired buddy cop movie dressed up in bizarre trappings. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's not nearly as self-deprecating and funny as it needed to be.
Ooh. Ride along?
Nope.
It can't be White Chicks,
Nope.
because that's a good movie.
I do agree. Writing for Rolling Stone, David Fear gave the film 1 out of 4 stars. The combo of gritty cop procedural and fantasy is a dark, dank, dumb-as-hell mess.
Ooh. R.I.P.D.
Nope.
Fuck.
Good guess, though.
Yeah, I felt confident with
Oh
that
my!
one.
Super Troopers.
No, it's not fantasy.
Super Troopers 2.
No. David
Oh.
Ehrlich of IndieWire gave the film an F and called it the worst film of 2017.
RoboCop.
There's boring.
RoboCop was not in 2017.
I don't know,
wait, there
but
was a remake.
something
Yeah,
like
there was
that
a remake.
Sorry, I
recently,
recant
but
my
no, yeah,
statement.
that was a good guess. There's boring, there's bad, and then there's blank. From the director of Suicide Squad
Ooh.
and the writer of Victor Frankenstein.
Wait, Suicide Squad 1 or 2?
The original, the first,
The OG.
yeah. And the writer of Victor Frankenstein comes a fresh slice of hell that somehow represents new lows for them both. A dull and painfully derivative ordeal that often feels like it was made just to put those earlier misfires into perspective.
Jesus Christ.
I want to say Hellboy, but I know that's wrong.
I know you want to say
NPR's Chris Klimek wrote, critics have already lined up to pillory blank as among the year's worst releases. Don't believe the clickbait. Lazy but not boring, this Netflix, another clue there, is perfectly stubbornly mediocre and less a chore to sit through than either of 2017's Vin Diesel vehicles. Just fucking Vin Diesel catching a stray there.
Oh my God. I guess these critics are funnier than the movie.
Viewers did seem to enjoy it.
Wait,
though.
was this a comedy?
Not really, no.
Was this, and I don't know the name of the movie, so it's going to stink.
Was Mark Wahlberg in it?
No. You guys...
Was Jamie Foxx in it?
No. I'll give you...
We need more.
Yeah, I'll read the starring people backwards. So this is the...
Oh, from worst to first?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Ike Barinholtz.
Okay.
Edgar Ramirez. Lucy Fry. Numi Rapis. Okay.
Those are the people?
No, and then I'm going to get to the...
Okay. Damn, this is a thinker.
Another fan.
Yeah. They found out where our studio is, and now they're honking outside. Just trying to tear Connor's clothes off.
With that juicy haircut.
Oh, fresh.
Right, so there's
need
nobody
more.
else famous in this. Joel
Ike
Edgerton.
Barinholtz. Who?
Joel Edgerton.
I don't know who that is.
And Will Smith.
Oh.
Gemini?
No.
Will Smith and Will Smith are Gemini.
No, it can't be a Men in Black movie.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Okay, good.
You think only Will Smith? I've said that wrong. Never mind. Jack, you keep doing you.
Well,
Don't
I
let
just know
me affect
cop,
you.
but fantasy. So
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
it's
okay, maybe.
Not a bad take.
I'll read some more reviews.
I got nothing. And it was on Netflix?
I don't know if we're gonna get
Yeah.
that. I'm picturing it like I can picture him holding the badge, but I don't know the name of the movie
Because it was a cop movie.
No, but I remember seeing it on Netflix,
Oh.
like seeing a clip.
The
of
problem with the Netflix ones is like they just dump out so much shit. It's like,
especially in 2017.
yeah, that was like their peak of movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
They just dumped out so much shit. You can't even like focus on one.
Like, so here we go. From Brian Tallarico of RogerEbert.com. So
.com.
a lot of legacy there for writing a review. Netflix had an incredible 2017, anchored by 3 critically acclaimed films out of Sundance: Mudbound, Can, The Meyerowitz Stories, and Okja. Along with seemingly endless supply of new shows, including fantastic programs like Mindhunter, Dear White People, and Master of None. And yet the irony of all this is that what will likely be their biggest film of the year, certainly their most expensive at a reported $90 million budget,
Jesus.
is David Ayer's blank, a gaudy, overstuffed piece of blockbuster trash. However, if you think about it, the arrival of blank makes perfect sense. Netflix has always wanted to compete with the big dogs at the studio, and you can't name a major studio that doesn't have an overdone, stupid blockbuster or two on their resume.
Bad
Every
Boys too.
You might have to give us the plot.
I think that you
Yeah.
might have to give us the
I'll
answer.
give you the plot now. I'll give you the IMDb because it's a short plot from IMDb.
We've spent at
A
least
detective,
10 minutes
or the
on this.
tagline: a detective must work with an orc to find a powerful wand before evil creatures do. You got it?
Dude, no, but how do you greenlight that?
My question is
What's
really
the pitch?
Oh, I do know it.
Yeah, you do.
I can fucking see the goddamn thing.
Directed by David Ayer. So, written by Max Landis.
It looks like a rock ogre type dude. Oh my god!
Why
I
do
know
you
exactly
always
what
pick
movie
Will
you're
Smith
talking about.
movies? The last time you did this, you also picked the
Yeah,
Will
Shark
Smith
Tale?
movie. Yeah.
Oh no, that was John. I
Oh, it
didn't
was
pick Shark
John.
Tale, but I got Shark Tale.
Damn, dude,
Yeah.
I can see it in my head now.
I lost the picture. My movie that I was thinking of is not.
As soon as you
What
say,
this
I'm gonna be
is.
so pissed because I literally saw it on Netflix and was like, "Who would watch this piece of shit?"
But that's literally the only tagline.
Yeah, the plot's not gonna give it to me either. Jack, do you have any idea?
None at all besides like Shrek, but
In
it's
an
wrong.
alternate present day, humans, orcs, elves, and fairies have been coexisting since the beginning of time. Two police officers, one a human, the other an orc, embark on a routine night patrol that will alter the future of their world as they know it. Battling both their own personal differences as well as an onslaught of enemies, they must work together to protect a young female elf and thought to be forgotten relic, which in the wrong hands could destroy everything. Joe Rogan makes an appearance in this movie as well.
I'm gonna look it up
is it
unless
Middle
you just
Earth
tell us
PD?
this.
Okay.
Is it
The movie is Bright.
Yeah, I would not have gotten the title,
Yeah.
but I can see the movie poster in my head.
I can't see a fucking thing. I
I
didn't
s-
even know
I
Will
s-
Smith did something like that.
I saw this, and the only thing I remember from it is that Joe Rogan makes his podcast is in the movie.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
hmm
Does he interview elves?
He interviews an orc. Yeah.
Man, Will Smith has a lot of good movies, but
we be
a
honest,
lot
though?
of bad
A
movies.
lot of bad
A
movies.
lot.
It's no wonder why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. He
Dude.
must have been so frustrated with all the movies he was putting out.
I was just watching Actors Roundtable, and Mo Amir was on it, and he was talking about how, like, the perfect example of somebody always trying to just live up to their image and their legacy is Will Smith, and he just
Yeah.
fucking snapped. He's like never taken any time to himself, and that's why he's just fucking was off his rocker that year.
Yeah.
I still blame his wife. I think she is.
I think
the
it's
devil.
him too. Like, get out of that fucking situation. You
Well,
know?
they're both egotistical.
I know it's a lot easier said than done, but
Yeah. They're both egotistical maniacs. So it's like, I don't know why you wouldn't break up or divorce or whatever you want to call it, but it's just like at the end of the day, man, you're both insane people.
Yeah. And they both like cheating on each other or whatever, or not. I guess
That's
not
the stuff
cheating.
that like I can even like look. It's like how public they chose to make everything. Like
Yeah.
that was the craziest part. That's where you see like, oh, these people are hurting.
Yeah,
He's trying to like
seriously.
normalize
The
it.
podcasts and all
It's
the
so
shit that they were
strange. It
doing.
was like, let's bring in like people deal with a lot of shit in their lives, and they can put up with a lot of shit. Like it doesn't necessarily mean like the choices they made were bad, but the fact that it was so public was just fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
That he went on her
And they chose to do
podcast.
that. Yeah.
And look at a guy like Daniel Day-Lewis, arguably one of the greatest actors of all time.
The
Yeah,
number one.
dude. Well, yeah, I can't argue with it right now, but that guy just fucks off in between movies.
Yeah.
You don't hear shit from that guy. I don't even know if he's married or not. I don't even know if he has children. I don't know if that guy is even able to have sex. But his movies are phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't know what he sounds like at all.
No, I don't think he does at this point.
No. Yeah.
Was it Gary Oldman? He was the one that said he did so many different accents that he had to get an accent coach for his own accent.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude. He was
he's such a
neck
good
deep in his
actor.
own asshole. Like, are you kidding me?
Wait,
You're
one thing
that out of
on
touch.
I
on
can
Will-
see it, dude.
Dude, I mean,
Sorry.
come on.
Yeah.
I make a lot of funny voices every now and again. I know what my voice sounds like.
But this is like their identity.
Yeah, that is true. It's got to be so hard to be an actor. I would never want to be an actor. Sorry, what were you going to say, Jack?
One thing with Will Smith though, and with the whole Chris Rock thing that I think about regularly is like Will Smith didn't start just beef with Chris Rock. Like he started beef with the whole Adam Sandler gang.
Dude,
of,
he
like,
started
all
beef
of those
with
people,
every single
that are in
comedian.
those movies.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
single
and
comedian.
that too. Yeah.
He's like, you don't touch a performer. Like, that's it. Every comedian hated him.
Yeah. And then to just accept your award and be like, I made a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, he made a mistake.
I still
choosing
love Will
Bright to
Smith.
play.
though.
So do I. I'll still go see I don't know.
I'll still support him. I just don't like that one choice.
He's not getting a dime of my money. Let me tell you. Hey guys, this is a huge movie podcast. The only movie podcast that doesn't agree with Will Smith's slap. All right, that was a good one. Yeah. Actually, you know what? It wasn't, Connor. Fuck you. You made it too hard.
That was really hard.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, though,
it was too hard. Yeah,
honestly,
but those reviews are just so fun. Like
they
just insulted Vin Diesel for no reason.
Yeah, dude. He's like, what did I do?
It's like this movie's bad, but it's not Vin Diesel bad.
You actually really sounded like him there.
Oh, really? I thought it sounded like Sylvester Stallone right there.
Maybe.
Hey, yo, Adrian, go get me my car. I'm gonna go to space. That was a mix of both.
It sounds like someone trying to do Sylvester Stallone.
That's because that's what it was, Connor.
No, like someone specific, but I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, that was fun. Like I said before, we're having a little bit of a freestyle episode today. So
bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us. No, we're good at this shit. We can fucking zip zap with the best of them.
These are my favorite episodes.
The shit shows.
Yeah.
We talk about things we actually want to talk about, not movies that came out 100 years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're going to go through a list, see what is exciting us about movies to come, and we're going to get into whatever we want.
Yeah,
Parents aren't home.
Start with some movies coming up, stuff that we're excited for. I'll go first. Across the Spider-Verse. Been looking forward to this since Into the Spider-Verse.
That's the second animated
Sony
Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. It's one of those things where it's like, I know I've shit on Marvel pretty hard in the past. I do think that these Sony movies that are of Marvel properties.
These are not to be confused with Venom and Morbius, Sony Spider-Man projects.
Yeah, those were fucking turds.
Yeah.
I never saw the first Into the Spider-Verse.
It's good. It's a fun one. It's
very
fun
good.
One.
Very good. I think it's my favorite Spider-Man movie.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like the animation is pretty intense.
It is. Which makes it awesome.
It's not overwhelming.
Okay.
Which is crazy because it looks like it would be.
That's why I didn't watch it. I felt like I'd be a little overwhelmed by that.
It reminds me a lot of 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? Where it tells a story well, but the visuals just amp it up to the next level. And they're just all very like surreal visuals, and it's something that you don't really see very often. I mean, up until this point, I don't think I've seen like an animation go this, I guess experimental would be a word for the visual style.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. It's also another thing where, we've talked about it before, how the multiverse, I mean, at least in my opinion, gets really stale. This was bringing it in a new type of movie. Very like epic.
It's very fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh. That's what I'm trying to say. Use less words, Chris. But yeah, very excited for that too. Because I didn't think going into it I would have liked the first Into the Spider-Verse.
I didn't have any high hopes for it. Mm-hmm. I didn't really read a lot. I didn't know a lot about it. I love Spider-Man, so I'll go see anything that has to do with Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. So is this a second part from that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the same Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Well, the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's multiple Spider-Men in the movies from different universes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
It's like the multiverse concept, but like just in the Spider-Man realm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like throughout all the comics, they've obviously had like a lot of different versions of Spider-Man.
There's like a constant with Spider-Man that comes from the Spider-Man. And
it's actually
people who take on the mantle of whatever the Spider-Man related thing is. In different universes, they all have a connection called the Spider-Verse, and it's controlled by like one person essentially, but they all maintain it, so they can like have this communication between universes, but just between spider people.
That's cool.
Yeah. I wanted to correct us before. It is spider people.
or not really too, because
It's called the Speeple.
there's a pig,
Speeple.
there's a T-Rex, there's a cat, like
Spider entities.
spider entities. Yeah,
Spenties.
Spenties.
Can we start using all of our nouns with the yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Is there any indication of like who the villains are gonna be in this?
Yeah, it's the Spot, and then I think it's like a brother on brother Spider-Man on Spider-Man.
Oh, like
disagreement,
Yeah.
like Civil War type thing. Yeah.
Interesting. That'll be fun.
My favorite,
I'm gonna go see it
besides
this week.
Spider-Man now, is Venom.
I love the Venom movies.
I fucking love those.
They are
movies.
bonkers. I
They
love
really
it, dude.
are.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I read like something on there, like a synopsis of it almost, or like a Rotten Tomatoes thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're just watching a guy who's sweaty in the same clothes the whole time. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this isn't making me want to watch it. And then I did, and I'm like, fuck them. It was so good though.
It's still good. Yeah. I think a lot of it is because of Tom Hardy. Like
Maybe.
he just goes for it in the movie
Yeah.
and makes a lot of those decisions himself. And I think that he wrote the second one too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I think it was like in his contract. The only way he would do it is if he wrote it.
Yeah, because he didn't want to lose that momentum of this just going for it.
The relationship too between Venom and the main, is that the main guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He wrote it?
Not the first one, but the second one.
Oh, gotcha. Bless you.
Thank you. It was a cough.
Oh.
What did you think of Woody Harrelson in the second one?
I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I wanted to see him go a little bit crazier, but it was fine. I mean, I'm not looking for anything perfect in those movies either.
Yeah, that is true. And sometimes you do have to kind of like separate that because there are movies that are just to be made like for fun. You know, sometimes you forget you're supposed to enjoy the movies. Yeah. It's hard for me sometimes because some of my favorite movies are real fucked up and you don't feel great leaving them.
Yeah. I for the most part only, besides with this and some stuff that we have on the bracket, but I only watch like happy movies.
You're probably better for it.
I get very affected by shows and movies. Like it could ruin my mood for like a day or two. So I'm like careful on it.
That's smart.
I'm getting more and more like that.
Yeah.
Like when we saw The Whale, I was wrecked for like 2 days, and that's
Dude,
why
I was too.
And then when we watched Requiem for a Dream last time, that was terrible. It made me feel so bad. I don't want to watch it again.
Well, look forward to it
I
in
know.
round 2. We have, dude, and I know we're not talking about the bracket today, but there are some movies on there where it's like, we're going to watch a slavery movie followed by a Holocaust movie and then probably going to be Requiem for a Dream in the next round. It's like, there are going to be some dark days ahead of us, boys.
Damn.
Yeah.
But we do it for you.
It's weird because as you came in, you high-fived me and said, "There's a Holocaust movie." I'm Jewish. I can say that.
I said it was a good Holocaust movie. Okay.
What's good about it? I'm kidding.
It was great. Freed up a lot of real estate in Europe.
No. I'm Jewish. I can say it.
Cut it out. Thank you, Uncle Joey.
Anything coming out, Jack, that you're excited for?
Thank you, Connor.
Any new movie coming out?
I'm wait, can we go back to the list that we had of some of them? Oh, Transformers.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm really pumped for. I always really liked those, but I am disappointed Shia LaBeouf isn't in it.
LaBeouf.
Yeah, I think I like because he was in the first two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he was out.
And then they try to replace him with Marky Mark.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
That was a real bummer.
They got to
And then I like
stick
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Bumblebee was good.
I think they have to stick with like a younger like main character, like besides the Transformers.
Yeah. It looks like Anthony Ramos is the new guy.
What's he from recently?
He was most recently in, I think, the West Side Story remake.
Mm-hmm.
But he's from Hamilton. He's in a bunch of stuff. He was in the remake of She's Gotta Have It, the Spike Lee movie / show.
So he only does remakes. Gotcha.
and Hamilton.
Hamilton was a remake.
How funny would it be if Michael Bublé was actually like the version? It's like Michael Bublé and the Transformers.
It's just
like it's by accident. Michael Bublé bought a new car. It's a Transformer.
He's like running away from Optimus Prime. And he's like, I just haven't met you yet.
Get the robots start crooning because they start taking after his, his mannerisms.
Yeah, I'm not like a big fan of these movies. Again, I liked I think the first two I saw. It was kind of more of like I was of the age when they came out to really be like enthralled with these types of films. It's very fun for people to pile on Michael Bay just because, it's Michael Bay. He likes explosions.
It's not Michael Bay anymore, though.
It's not?
No, it's Stephen Capel Jr.
How's he with explosions?
See what his resume is.
Oh, he did Creed?
Looks like he did the cinematography.
Oh, okay. No, director Creed
Oh, yeah,
2.
director Creed 2. No.
There's a no. Oh, that's...
Because I thought Michael B. Jordan directed Creed 2.
Maybe.
Oh, no, he directed Creed 3.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan's a hot man.
He's got OnlyFans.
He's gorgeous.
What? Really? Good for him.
Preston, can you check that for me, please?
Oh, it looks like he does a lot of TV. Music videos.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Interesting.
If there's boxing scenes like in Creed 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if there's like action like that with the robots.
There'll definitely be something like that.
Yeah. We'll see.
The only thing I hate with some of the Transformers movies is like, it's always the rise of something. Like, you know what I
This
mean?
is Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, it's always
was
the
the other one?
rise or the dark side of the moon. Like, there's always like some stupid thing at the end of it. Just do like Transformers 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, whatever happened to like why are there sub like titles?
I don't know.
Like why not just 2 and 3?
I don't need a hint. I'd rather be surprised by it. Like, how much has fucking changed from the last ones? It's still the same thing of them changing from cars.
But
I do kind of respect the Fast and the Furious movies. They're
What?
like
Fast
pretty much
10.
just that. Yeah, it's like Fast 10, Furious 7, Fast 6, Fast and Furious 4. Like I like that.
Do you think that is
It's organized.
Yeah, it's very organized. Makes my OCD fall right in line. But do you think that is a exploit is the wrong word, but like a technique used by marketing to try and make each movie a standalone picture, right? So like you not only are going to get the repeat viewers from the first movies, but someone who hasn't been introduced to the franchise yet, they'll feel more acceptable coming to watch a movie that's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen rather than Transformers 2.
I think you're spot on.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I
Were
do
you
have a
in that marketing room?
I do have a marketing degree. I don't use it.
I was gonna say
Literally
maybe it has to do-
graduated with one. Not even in my head that might be it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe it's like comic books, like they have runs, they have like the ultimate runs and like whatever. There's different stories. I'm like maybe that's what they're, but it's definitely like, especially for Transformers, this
Yeah.
is just marketing.
I get stressed out watching Star Wars because of this whole fucking thing. Like I have to look up
Dude.
the order because once a year I watch them all.
Can
in the
we
right
talk?
order.
Can we talk about what a fucking cunt Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were for the first 3 movies of a franchise, labeling them 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
What the? That's not badass. Guy can't count.
I think it's in the plot though. Maybe he didn't know the story, but he knew it was gonna end up being later.
George Lucas makes decisions like a toddler. He says shit, and then they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, like." There's a story before this, right? And we want to make sure we get that point across.
You mean he makes decisions like a coke addict?
Yeah, maybe.
A
Maybe
lot,
he was.
A lot
it
of
was
the
the
most
80s, right?
Hey guys, this is
successful
the Huge
thing.
Movie Podcast, the only movie podcast that knows for a fact.
Lucas did coke.
A
A lot
lot
of it.
A lot of like the most successful things though are like the dumbest. Like you're coming from the most outside perspective, like the stupidest shit in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, the
Like
different
some
way
of
of
my
thinking of
favorite
it.
songs were made in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And that
dude.
like pains me.
Really?
And so like some of these movies it's just like right out their ass. And that's like Star
Yeah.
Wars. But it became this great idea.
But the difference between a movie and a song, though, right, is a song was basically like a 3-minute thing that doesn't cost hundreds of
Yeah.
millions of dollars to produce.
Yeah.
It's like to make decisions based off of something similar to that with these giant budgets attached to it. That's either a lot of balls or a lot of stupidity. I don't know which.
Yeah.
Both.
Probably both. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Or maybe he did it because it was like the best way to start the story so that he could get money for the other ones.
Stop defending him. Stop
I
defending
just
him.
love Star Wars.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna differ on that one.
Star Wars is better than Transformers.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I recently watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and
Oh,
it made me
Jesus.
like Star Wars a lot less.
It's
Wait,
so
wait.
much better.
So much better.
You watched all of them?
I watched all the Lord of the Rings. And
Okay.
like the Hobbits. Even the Hobbit movies are better than the newer Star Wars
You
movies.
you are haircut fits. That's all I'm saying.
All right, yeah.
It's a Saw series or trilogy or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of sexual
Wait,
attention
wait,
the whole time.
Wait, Jack. I didn't understand the reference to Connor's hair. Could you explain that for me?
He just looks really good, kind of like Legolas.
Well, why would that be a sus pick?
and
Because he
Samwise
just
Gamgee
watched it,
and
and that's
Frodo.
why he
Yeah.
got the
I
hat.
haven't watched it in 2 days.
Or not hat. Hair.
You're jonesing for the next view.
Wait, why do you think I said that?
Oh, I thought you were calling him gay.
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's fine if he is, but
But because what pisses
They.
me off about these newer Star Wars movies is that they were made after Lord of the Rings. Like Lord of the Rings, like gave you a blueprint on how to make a good fantasy trilogy, and they were just like, nah.
I
Yeah.
watched every single Lord of the Rings, and I just was not impressed.
Really?
I really wasn't.
See, I
I
don't
think there's just a difference in taste because,
Yeah.
like, I think they're incredible.
Like Game of Thrones blows Lord of the Rings out of the water.
I just
I don't
with that.
compare them.
It's easy to compare them. It's way better. Game of Thrones and Vikings even too.
I mean,
is
it's
way
hard.
better.
A show is a show. They have more time to build characters and storylines.
Mhm.
I guess so. Yeah.
See, what I would say, disagreeing with you about the Lord of the Rings stuff, is I didn't think that the Hobbits Hobbits movies, the Hobbit movies.
Well, I'll backtrack that one and say the first one. The second, the last two were on par with the sequel trilogy.
See, I still disagree with that.
New
and
trilogy, sequel trilogy. What do we call them? The newest trilogy.
the trilogy.
Yeah.
Spillage.
Yeah. I can't wait for the spillage. It's gonna be great. What I was gonna say is, for me, when you're comparing movies within a franchise, you have to compare a lot of, like, I guess, the historical value of what they're building off of, if that makes sense. Like, I thought the first 3 Lord of the Rings movies did such an amazing job with practical effects, and this also comes back to me just loving practical effects, and to shop that out a lot to CGI. I'm sure it was easier on production. I'm sure they were able to do a lot more.
Maybe not. CGI is a lot of work, so you don't know what those
Sure.
animation studios were dealing with.
Yeah,
Right.
that Ring of Fire
Yeah.
kept him up all night.
Could have.
Wait, what's Ring of Fire?
The like eye.
Oh, Sauron.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. If you're gonna insult the trilogy, at least know what you're insulting. But yeah, I just felt like that kind of took away from it, and a little bit in my mind. I thought the story was good, and I thought
It's really stretched out when
Yeah.
you watch all 3 movies. It's like, oh, this is
mhm.
one book,
Yeah.
and you can tell. But yeah,
Dude,
Lord
that-
of the Rings show though is
I
amazing.
still have to watch it.
It is
I haven't seen it.
fucking so good.
Okay.
Like 10 out of 10. It blew the movies out of the park.
Can we talk about this though? Because you just brought up something that's been nagging me for a really long time. The recent trend to make everything into multiple parts, that I think has led to worse movies overall. like in the Hobbit's example, you're taking one book and making it into 3 movies rather than just using it as one book. In TV
It's a good
series,
example of that.
yeah, in TV series, sometimes that leads to better end product because you're able to develop more characters and stuff like that, develop the plot more. But for movies' sake, everything becoming a trilogy and really just being an extension of a story rather than different pieces of an entire collective has really started to kind of piss me off about movies. Like,
It gets old.
it gets really old. I mean, like, I thought the first Dune movie that came out recently, not the old trilogy, I thought it was decent. But
It
then
pissed me off.
yeah, but when I found out that it was in 2 parts, and they might be a 3, I don't
I
know.
think there's gonna be 3.
That's just like, come on.
And
what
the
are
whole
you
first
doing?
movie is just an intro.
I
I
know.
hated Dune. I could see how like it was very well made and the story is whatever fine, but the fact that it felt just like an intro and a way to be like, ooh, what's
It was
coming
Act 1.
next? Yeah.
It literally was Act 1.
Yeah.
It's
But you
frustrating.
can get away with that now.
I don't think we
They-
should though.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it cheaper to make like a TV season than a movie?
Depends.
Yeah, because
really
Game of
Kinda why
Thrones.
they're pushing so
The
hard.
Rings of Power, that
Yeah.
series is wildly expensive.
Okay.
Like Amazon pretty much blew their whole budget on that series. That's why there's not a lot of Amazon Prime movies this year and other TV shows.
Is that why
Definitely
there's
worth
not a boys season
No, there is.
this
They're,
past year?
They finished shooting.
just
It's coming
finished
out
it,
this
yeah.
Oh,
summer.
okay.
Yeah.
Or I hope it's
Yeah.
coming this summer. Typically they come like August.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I feel like that they like places like Netflix, like streaming services, have really been trying to like train people to prefer shows over movies.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from on that.
'Cause you have like hour-long shows now, and there's gonna be like 15 episodes or like even 10 episodes.
Yeah, that's
And that-
10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the last season of Game of Thrones, every episode was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not even worth the watch.
No.
Why are you bringing up old shit, guys?
All right, sorry.
I just got over Game of Thrones.
All right, what else is coming up that we're
Yeah, let's
excited
see.
for?
Yeah, Transformers, probably won't see it, but it's.
I saw Bumblebee on the airplane, and it was perfect airplane movie, so
Yeah,
that's what I'll save it for.
something to be said about those movies. They really get you.
You
through
need
that
airplane
pinch.
movies.
Yeah.
Want to talk about Barbie?
I just
Or
don't
should
know
we
what to
go to
say.
Flash
we
and then
we
Barbie?
can do Barbie. I just don't know what to say too much about it because it's definitely building a lot of excitement online. Like so many people are ready for it and talking about it. but,
Yeah.
I just
I-
love Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Like he
Dude,
is
he's
my
been pretty
favorite
funny in
actor.
the media, like his media run right now. He's been doing pretty well. Like he's like, this is a role I was born for.
It is though.
Yeah.
Like kind of.
Mhm. And he's like really leaning into like, you guys only know Ken because he's only just been Ken. But what if Ken was more than just Ken? You're gonna see in the new Barbie movie.
I'll
And
tell ya.
Margot what? Robbie?
Robbie.
Yeah.
All right. Love her naturally, but
Yeah. Why?
you know why.
She's a great talent.
She's very
really
good
is.
looking.
And
She's
she is, yeah.
the most good looking person I think I've ever seen.
Gotta be up there.
Besides my wife, Deborah. Love you.
How's the divorce going, Jack?
Hurts. Saw the kids at the diner last weekend.
Wave through the window.
No. I had breakfast with them, then Debbie picked them up.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
That's all right. You'll land on your feet or your one good foot. But talking about Barbie, I've been on an emotional roller coaster with this movie, and it hasn't even come out yet. At first,
Yeah, you were pretty late to the game to find out who the director and writers were.
dude, sometimes I just
Yeah.
don't look shit up, and then I'm pleasantly surprised when I see it.
Yeah.
It's a great way of living. Plus, you can never say that you were informed on something and then speak out about it later, only to be proven wrong. It's worked for me thus far. But I think a lot of guys our age were probably not the most excited about seeing a Barbie movie. When like early on there was just nothing really known about it, and you just saw like all the teasers and stuff. You know, I'm not really a big Barbie fan. You know, I'm not a fan of the franchise, if you will. But then when I saw it was Greta Gerwig directing, Noah Baumbach and her co-wrote the script. Those are two fantastic filmmakers. So I got back excited. Plus, Margot Robbie, great talent. Ryan Gosling, great talent. Dua Lipa, don't know. John Cena.
Dua Lipa's in it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
She's
Good
third
for
bill.
her.
On IMDb, I don't know.
Is that
How
more of a
I-
fame thing,
how-
you think?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that works on this because it's like, I think John Cena's barely in it. So
Oh,
I don't
right.
love Dua Lipa. I was thinking of Doja Cat.
I love both of them.
I love Doja Cat only.
Okay. But yeah, like you have some big names, some very well respected names.
Some names with a lot of like
Will Ferrell.
what you call it, juice right now. Like
Yeah.
Simu Liu, he's an up and I mean, he's here. He was Shang-Chi, but you got Michael Cera. Fucking, I'll watch anything Michael Cera's into.
And like I said before, like I feel like this is just
And Emma Mackey.
or not on the microphone though, but I feel like this is just Elf without Christmas.
Yeah, which I thought was
great,
very,
yeah.
very good.
It's
well,
like
you should say
the look of the whole movie on the trailer like looks like as they're going from wherever Barbie is. Like
Well, yeah.
Barbie World, they're going to now Las Vegas instead of New York City.
It's so
or,
similar.
Or California. Yeah.
yeah. But the funny thing was, to like complete my first thought, you talked about the trailer. After I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I don't want to see a Barbie movie. Like I went through the entire range of emotions on that.
I really want to see it now. I think mainly
probably will see
because
it.
Will Ferrell and Ryan Gosling, like I picture they have like a lot of funny moments throughout the movie.
Oh, for sure. I also just
I'm still conflicted because it's a toy company still, and Mattel very much still owns Barbie. This is not somebody making fun of Barbie and criticizing it and using it as a joke. This is Mattel trying to freshen up a brand to be able to sell dolls.
didn't think about it that way.
It's Noah Baumbach and
Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig, who are you're like you said, they're great, and they don't come across to me as corporate puppets either. So I mean, money talks, but
Yeah.
I'm
It's also-
conflicted. Like
It's also
I
weird
don't-
too, though, because you see Mattel being the bad guy in the film, in the trailer.
it comes back to those things like like Hulu does those commercials where it's like this is just an ad to get you to see Hulu, and they're
Yeah.
very honest. It's like a little wink, like we know what we're doing, but like you're still doing it. Like
Right.
I don't need you to be self-aware. Like
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
I feel
To
like
me, it
they're
feels
kind of
very,
making
like,
dreams come
intentional.
true because there are so many like Barbie movies for kids and even like when they're growing up. So this is like a reminder that like even if you grow up, like you can still appreciate it.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
you're keeping it in your mind for your kids one day.
Did Mattel get to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls every night.
Are you showing?
Jackson Mattel show.
And I stand out his house when I get blackout drunk because I'm depressed about the divorce. And I just am crying out there and he yells, "Stop."
Well, I just hope
Deborah
you know
is
that.
such a bitch.
I hope you know that any Mattel money that's coming your way has to be divided equally in the podcast.
That's a deal.
All right.
But I
Hey
feel
guys,
like
welcome to the
yeah.
Huge Movie Podcast. Brought
Let's
to you by
go see
Mattel.
Barbie.
Sponsored
good
by
does this
Barbie.
movie look?
Oh my god! I just picked me up a fresh Ken the other day, and boy, let me tell you, it's back and better than ever. So while we're kind of on this, I had the thought, Greta Gerwig. I think Frances Ha is one of my like most underrated movies of all time. That movie is fucking amazing.
I saw it at the perfect moment in my life.
where you're going through a transitional phase.
It's like senior year of college,
I think I saw it very similar time.
going through some emotional roller coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude,
And then Mistress America, like right after that, because
I don't think I ever watched that.
I went through a Noah Baumbach phase.
Really?
I watched all of them. Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig. Everything.
Dude, you must have had some weepy nights.
Yeah.
Some people say their dogs chose them, but Noah chose you.
Yeah. If Noah Baumbach was like I don't know, describing his audience or who he thinks his audience would be, it would have been me in my senior year of college.
Describe yourself.
Sad and lost.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
But now you're more of a Tarantino guy.
No, Wes
Just
Anderson.
really-
So like a little bit different, like just a little bit more content.
Oh, I was just gonna say you were very secure about your foot fetish.
Oh yeah, that too. Really grew into it.
That's why you kept trying to take my boot off.
I just want to make sure it's healing okay, Jack. But yeah, dude, I mean, Frances Ha and Lady Bird are like two of my most underrated movies. Even though Lady Bird got a lot of critical acclaim, like people sleep on that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking fantastic. Plus, Timothée Chalamet plays the best like bro douche in that movie.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
I
good.
feel like everyone talks about him, and I don't
Timothy
even
Chalamet?
know who he is.
Oh.
I know.
You're not that famous, Timmy.
Yes, he is.
No, he's very famous.
Not to me.
There
I don't
is
know
a-
you.
Jack, if he's not Mike Myers, you don't know him.
Stay focused.
Oh, Jesus Christ. To your point, Jack, though, he did kind of just come out of nowhere in like the zeitgeist a little bit.
I think he got a really good role when he was really young, a
Mm-hmm.
really big role when he was really young, and then that just it takes people places sometimes.
Can you pull up a picture of him so I
Yeah.
can see
He
what
was
he
in a
looks
Tyler
like?
the Creator song, and I didn't know until like 5 years after the song came out that they were talking about him.
Which one?
Who that boy?
Oh,
Tell Tim Chowder to come get at me. Skin glowing, clear acne. You know, I just sound like him.
yeah,
Wait, is he in a remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
yeah. So that's another one coming out. I think next year.
Jesus Christ.
He
how many
looks like a
remakes?
Tim Burton guy.
It's not a remake. It's a
Prequel?
prequel. Yeah,
He looks like a Tim Burton guy.
yeah. He was okay in French Dispatch. I think he can do the Wes Anderson tone.
Mm-hmm. He
Which
does?
is kind of similar to Tim Burton, like a little bit drier, a little bit more whimsical in a Tim Burton movie, which
Right.
is weird because they're darker movies, but
Mhm.
you know, like the
Yeah, the style is like it's more playful.
a little bit, yeah. It's definitely less rigid. But he was in Call Me by Your Name, and then that just boom, shot him up.
he was in Interstellar.
He's,
He
a,
was the son.
he's a handsome guy,
Jesus.
but I wouldn't blow my back out for him, you know?
I hope you don't blow your back out for anybody, bro.
A fellow alum with our buddy John,
What?
NYU.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Tisch School.
John went to NYU?
Yeah, he
Graduate
studied filmmaking.
And law.
John?
And
Like on the podcast, John?
Yeah, Johnny G, Gallagher
for
guy.
grad school, yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, John's a smart boy.
Yeah, they were actually at a lot of parties together. He said.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Doubt
Yeah.
John would blow his back out for him either.
He said he had a little bit of a coke problem. John, not Timothy Chalamet.
I wouldn't be surprised that way though either.
Well, you know him better than I do.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet?
I love how you're saying Timothy at first, and then you're like, John. Just in case Tim listens.
He's a fan. Did you watch Bones and All?
No. No, it's on my
I really
list.
wanted to watch that too.
Yeah.
I am kind of not a big fan of the fetishizing of eating human flesh.
It's kind of funny because he was in Call Me by Your Name with Army Hammer.
Oh,
And then the year after his whole cannibalism controversy, he makes Bones and All.
Army Hammer's delightful. I don't see what anyone has wrong with him.
Wait, he ate someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But
Allegedly.
some texts got
Allegedly.
released. Yeah. And they were very gross. reads like just like a role play thing, but
Well, that's the
still pretty disturbing when it comes to how he would talk to women.
That's like that documentary Cannibal Cop, though.
Yeah.
It's the guy got fired, and I don't know, he might have gone to jail, but he was on a Reddit forum like about cannibalism, and he was just posting on it, and that's like why he got all this shit, but he never actually did anything.
I have a lot of fears, but cannibalism is at the top.
Really?
Yeah.
What about crippling debt?
No. I know I could just escape.
Oh, I'm just talking about my fears now. Okay.
Worst comes to worst, move states, countries, get away from it. You know,
that is true.
That's my goal.
I can grow a mean beard.
I'm always thinking about taking out like a $200,000 loan and just bouncing to Mexico, saying it's for a house. You know.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
fun.
Or starting up a business and just stealing all the money and going to Mexico.
Not bad either.
Always ends at Tulum.
All right, what else do we got coming out?
It's coming up, yeah.
The Flash.
I mean, speaking of Wes Anderson, Asteroid City comes out next week.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this one because this one I'm very excited about seeing.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a director that we do a deep dive with eventually. Last week when you were away, John and I had plans to come here and do it with just us two. We were gonna do Wes Anderson.
Oh really? Yeah, I think that'll be a good thing to throw in every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this new movie.
You know what Wes Anderson reminds me of, and it shouldn't at all, but for some reason, like the Chef Boyardee commercial makes me think of Wes Anderson.
The can rolling,
yeah.
Like with the
I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
No,
I could
really?
picture that being like a Wes Anderson. It's like
The
kid in the grocery
music
store
that
like
helps.
goes to his
Yeah.
mom like, "Can we get Chef Boyardee?" And she goes, "No," and he puts it on the shelf and it falls off the shelf and then rolls out the door and like follows them home basically.
That's not Wes Anderson. That's Wes Craven. Because that's terrifying.
Possessed.
Show him it. Show him it
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny ones online where it's like
Yeah.
like beer, like vodka or tin,
Oh,
like
really?
dip tin.
That reminds me of the movie Rubber, where it's a possessed tire
Yeah.
killing people.
Really?
I've watched a lot of fucked up weird movies.
No, it's really. You've had chef every night this week.
There's a good fucked up one on Netflix called the Circle, the movie, not the show.
I've seen it.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's
actually.
alright. Oh, I do kind of remember this.
Yeah. I feel like they remade it for a Super Bowl recently too.
Oh, really? Yeah, dude, you just put a different backing track to this. It's an entirely different.
Shoot it a little bit different. Oh yeah. Oh, for Wes Craven.
Yeah.
It's honestly one of the best commercials, though.
Yeah, it is.
Viens frapper ton corps malade.
But you changed the framing. You got a little bit more pastels. This is a Wes Anderson commercial.
Yeah, that is true. You could probably leave the music.
The
'Cause
music
it has the-
is really
the-
the
the-
thing that does it for me, of making me think of him. And I haven't even seen his movies. It's just from the stupid
Yeah.
fucking TikToks.
But this also has like the innocent charm to it. And like, I mean, there's no emotional weight, which is what Wes Anderson is so good at. But
It's too bad he's like a horrible person in real life.
that's not
Wes
true.
Anderson?
Yeah.
Why? What did he do?
Supports Coney back in 2012.
Coney?
Yeah. Child soldiers.
Wait,
You don't
what's
remember Coney 2012?
No.
It definitely got me. I shared it on Facebook.
What is it?
It was like this 20-minute YouTube documentary that this guy made about a terrorist in Africa who was like kidnapping kids and making them child soldiers.
Was it
They're
real?
like, we want to make this guy famous. It was like the first.
It
I
was
don't know,
real.
like
yeah.
fake activism that people would do on
Oh.
social media.
Wait, it wasn't real? It was real.
No, I think it was a real thing, but it was like let me share this and pretend like I'm a good person type deal.
Yeah, it
It
just
was like one of the first
spread
cases
really
of that.
hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, never mind.
I can see you just pacing around in your apartment. Yeah, we should do something.
Yeah.
It made me research child soldiers and understand
Yeah.
why they choose that. So
How do they source them?
I wonder if it.
well, it's like because they kind of just aren't developed mentally, so they won't second guess something.
Oh,
It
no,
it's easier to train.
I was making a joke.
Oh,
Sorry.
child soldiers are a part of my world domination plan.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Huge Movie Podcast, the only movie podcast that thinks child soldiers are cool.
So if you're a child soldier, thank you
Hey,
for your
look.
service.
If you're old enough to drink a beer, you're old enough to be a child soldier.
Hell yeah. And we're back. All right, let's go into Asteroid
This
City
is
little
a
bit.
good episode right now.
I was having doubts. I really was at the beginning of this.
So, I mean, first thing is the cast with this movie is fucking crazy.
Whoa, I've never seen Wes Anderson's face. He's a scary looking guy.
He looks like he's a
told you.
character in his movies. He dresses like it too.
He looks like my creepy neighbor.
Him and Guy Ritchie look like their movies.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, look, Jason Schwartzman, staple.
Fantastic.
Scarlett Johansson, I think a newcomer.
Is she?
Tom Hanks, a newcomer.
No, she was in. I confused her with Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Jeffrey Wright, I think a newcomer, unless he was a narrator. Tilda Swinton, I don't know. Bryan
No, Tilda
Cranston's a
Swinton's been
newcomer.
in before. I think she was in Moonrise Kingdom.
Okay.
You
Bryan
think Tom
Cranston's new.
Hanks should
Bryan
kind of
Cranston,
like
yeah.
give it up, or do you think he should keep doing this?
We'll see in this movie. I think this is a good movie for him. It's
Well,
different than what he usually does.
He had a really sad one I saw. Like I
Oh,
forget
man,
when I
called
saw.
Otto.
Yeah. I was
read that
sad for
book.
a few days after
saw that?
one. Yeah, 10 out of 10. But at the same time, I'm like, it like makes you sad because you feel like you're losing Tom Hanks.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of him anymore.
I'm not either.
ageist.
Yeah.
No, it's being on Epstein's flight logs.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just assumed.
Adrian Brody, not a newcomer, but great. Liev Schreiber. Look at all these people.
This is
Matt
talk
Dillon,
about,
man.
Talk about an ensemble cast.
Steve Carell.
Willem Dafoe and Margot Robbie to round it
Maya
out.
Hawke. Yeah.
Jesus
Margot
Christ. Yeah, this one's gonna be good,
Hong
man.
Chow.
Well,
she's good too.
I won't say it's gonna be good, but it has all of the makings of like a hit.
Yeah. So what I'm most excited about this movie for, or what excites me the most, is that French Dispatch left me a little. It's not a bad movie, but his previous movie, it came out a couple years ago. There was something missing that was like not Wes Anderson, and I think I figured it out. I don't really know because I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I pick up on the right things, but in his movies, he uses the way he tells stories to build his characters and their relationships with the other characters, and which in turn, I mean, I think propels the story. This last movie was a series of 3 short movies, or 3 or 4 short stories. And what he does with movies, it didn't give him a chance to do that well. Like everything had to be done in like 20 minutes.
Oh,
And you
okay.
didn't get that like that build up or that establish the way the characters are established and their relationships, which is what makes that's why his like aesthetic and everything is so charming. Is that it enhances the movie. It adds to the movie in more ways than just something pretty to look at.
It makes you really care about the characters.
In a way, yeah. And it like gives you subtle hints at things like in a way that's not too subtle, but it still feels subtle because it fits in with this world that he's built around it. And so yeah, this is one movie, one story. I'm excited. I'm back to Wes Anderson now.
Yeah. This is also a time period of American history that I'm a really big fan of. This is the 1950s, I believe, right? That it takes place in?
I don't know.
The good old days.
But it looks very mid-century modern.
Yeah.
Which is a
Ooh, graphic nudity.
female. What the fuck is going on?
Oh.
Everything people have added to this IMDb is just female topless nudity, female full frontal nudity.
Now I'm really excited, guys.
Now I know someone else on Epstein's list or flight logs.
1950s. Yeah. But I
And somebody there's So you can there's like so it's like 1950s time frame 1950s astronomy love for things in the movie on IMDb, and there's 4 that include full female nudity, and it's the only one that's marked as helpful. Those 5 or those 6. Yeah.
Whoever did that, because you know that's one
That's
guy.
pretty
That was
funny.
very funny.
Yeah, he was having a blast that day.
Like I was saying before, the period of 1950s, as far as American history, is always like kind of enticed me, made me interested. I love the aesthetic, especially like of all of the atomic age type, styles. This is very, again, Wes Anderson being a very stylistic director. The visuals I've seen so far like highlight that type of style in such a cool way that it just makes me super excited. It's like I'm looking at the world that was created before the Fallout game series. That's like what I see when I look at these, you know. Adrian Brody. You know, he's banned from the Oscars.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea why.
It's pretty cool. I don't really want to know why.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm assuming it's just because he was a dick one time.
Just always has to swing his dick around.
Mm-hmm. Well, he could do more damage with his nose, I think.
I
And
recently
his
watched
face balls. We're at a hour and 4, just
Hour
to keep
4?
everyone in the
Okay.
loop.
All right, cool.
I recently watched Fantastic Mr. Fox. So good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I've never seen of his.
It's worth it.
These movie names don't make me want to watch them.
Dude, but once you're familiar,
If you like it though, like
no. Here's the thing: once you're familiar with the Wes Anderson, 'cause you've never seen a Wes Anderson movie.
I don't think I've seen one.
You want to go through
I
them and
could
see if
have.
you've seen one?
yeah, right here. There's Grand Budapest Hotel. Moonrise Kingdom might have been one.
Moonrise Kingdom is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Everything
It is-
else was when we were younger or
It's so
stop
delightful.
motion.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one.
But once you're familiar with his style, the names make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
They're because like the names are almost just as deadpan as the movie. You
Yeah.
know?
You know what I wish was coming out instead of one of his new movies? Another Planet of the Apes.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel
I think one is coming.
it's
out,
kind of
like,
been on
within
my
the next
mind
year.
recently.
Rise
that-
of the Fall of the Planet of the
Yeah,
Apes.
yeah, literally. It must be me. It's just the movies I like.
What made
have
you
to
think
do
of
that.
Planet of the Apes?
I don't know. I just feel like these are weird movies, and so I was like, hey, maybe he has something to do with that. Because I guess you said older movies when we were
Wait,
young.
oh,
And
yeah.
I was
Can
like,
you go back to the cast list for Atomic City? Because there are some notable staples of Wes Anderson movies that are not in there.
Okay.
There's no Bill Murray.
He's in this.
He is?
Yeah.
I have not seen him on the list.
I thought he was.
And if he is not on the list, he will be missed.
Oh, he's not. I thought he was.
Mm.
Maybe he's in the because he's releasing another movie later in the year,
Mm.
an animated movie.
Owen Wilson.
Oh no, Wilson's.
No. Neither Wilson will be featured. Those are the only two, really. I thought of
There's 3.
3 Wilsons.
Mm-hmm. One of them, the third one, is in
Russell Wilson.
Bottle Rocket.
Really? I haven't seen it yet.
let's
Very
ride.
Wes Anderson. No, Atomic City. Let's ride.
Let's ride. I love that video.
Jeff Goldblum, huh?
He fits a Wes Anderson.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt Dillon is exciting.
That is
Not
that
in
is
a
cool
lot
one.
anymore.
No. He had his like real big pop in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and then just kind of
Something About Mary.
Mm-hmm. That one was great. Did you ever see Singles? It's like I feel like it's the movie that killed grunge, where they just basically ripped everything that was like out of grunge culture and just threw it into a movie because it was cool at the time.
Oh, that
He was the
sucks.
main character, and he had just the worst long hair wig, the entire thing. and you could tell he just wasn't comfortable with the wig at all. He was just like constantly just trying to throw it out of his face.
You're making me
so
want to
bad.
watch this movie.
It was a fun one.
Yeah.
It's cool because Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder are in it.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's literally just like, hey, remember the 90s? Yeah.
Oh, they're making another Good Burger too.
Yeah, so yeah, John.
Thinking
we
of
tweeted
the
it.
'90s.
Really?
yeah.
We tweeted it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Our Twitter's ahead.
Twitter handle right there. Go follow it. Do you follow on Twitter or subscribe?
Follow.
I don't use Twitter.
And
I
if
think- I think
you
you can do both. I don't know. Elon's always changing shit now.
Keeping them on their toes.
Yeah.
Another
Sorry.
disgruntled fan.
it might come back and forth, honestly, because I'm pretty sure
bike?
that's my neighbor.
Tell him to quiet down.
Trust me, I get so upset about it. So he does it at 3 a.m. sometimes.
Oh,
He's
that's
going
nuts.
through some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I was in
Also a
college,
divorce.
there was a guy that had a motorcycle that he'd have to warm up the engine every day at 5 a.m.
Oh
and
my
he'd
god.
just be sitting there for an hour.
Idling.
Fucking gross. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Do you guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah. We didn't really get to everything we wanted to talk about, but we didn't really want to talk about anything. So
But we had a fun time.
we did.
And we hope you guys had fun.
And back to the bracket next week.
Yep. Back to the bracket. Matchup is Leon the Professional versus Endless Sunshine in the Spotless Mind.
That's exactly what it's called.
Okay. Every time there's one of those long titles, I'm like, you better say this right. You want to give like a little bit of a teaser of what your feelings are on the movies first?
Clear winner. There is a clear winner.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not going to say who?
No.
Okay.
One of them I wish I didn't read about the director before I watched the movie, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to read about both the directors now.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's my favorite director. So
What does he direct?
I guess all of his movies.
Does he really?
I'd assume it's his company.
He produces them.
He'll be like, oh, don't put that camera there. That's a bad camera.
What are we?
And action.
I will be watching That's My Boy this week. So
Their heads are all warped.
He did because he just had a new movie come out, right? Right, I don't know, within the last year, and he did an interview with Jennifer Aniston, and the interviewer's like, "Can you do an impression of your co-stars?" And he looks at Jennifer Aniston. He's like, "Okay, here's Jen. Can I have a mayo sandwich?" Or something stupid like that. Like
Murder
it was pretty
Mystery too.
good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, with her.
Mhm.
He had a good basketball one that came out a few.
Oh, I
few
really
months
enjoyed
back,
it.
I
Hustle.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but it looked good.
It's good.
So my teaser for next week's episode with the matchup, both movies I viewed
Oh,
extremely.
it's the same guy though. It's Dennis Dog, but he's the producer. He's not the director. I was wondering who this director was, but yeah.
Starring Rob Schneider. I always think about South Park whenever I see him too.
Oh, what I was saying
Yeah.
before you guys so rudely cut me off. Both movies because I've seen both these movies before, and once each for both these movies, I watched them in a completely different manner and have wildly different takes on the movies from the first time I've watched them.
This is the first time I watched Leon the Professional.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think? On the next episode of the Huge Movie Podcast. I fucking hate myself. All right, let's cut there, guys.
I'll
I
tell you what
like
think.
that.
You just cut the noise and just like now I'm like really talking to you and they can't hear what I'm saying. Oh no fucking way.
All right, that's dumb.
No. Now do a closeout just so we have it too, though. Like, see you next time.
And that's been it for the Huge Movie Podcast. He's Jack Mayberry. He's Connor Garrigan. I'm Chris Carfaro.
John's not here.
Sleep with one eye open.
Enter Sandman.